Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Always Online Multiplayer Gaming Podcast brought to you by MMOBomb.com. I'm your host, Mike Byrne. As always, this is episode 412. We're doing it live, twitch.tv/MMOBomb. Endwalker is upon us. It has launched. We were streaming it before the show. We'll attempt to stream it after the show, pending queues. If the queues are not the queue that works here, the queues like the lines. So if the line is too long, maybe we'll jump to something else. But we've got a lot of news to cover. Your weekly bombs, your feedback to the question of the week. Last show, which was 2 weeks ago. Hope everybody that celebrates it had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Let's get started first by introducing Mr. Jason Winter. What's up, dog?
Well, the real big news of the week is not Endwalker. It's that Guns N' Roses has a new video.
It's Guns N' Roses. It's Icarus launched.
Yeah,
launched.
no. Dragon Ashes. What is it?
That launched too, but isn't Icarus?
Century Age of Ashes.
Yeah, Icarus is today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in like 3-4 hours. I saw it on Steam just now.
And Century Age of Ashes Dragon PvP is up. That went live yesterday, although they've been having some severe server issues back and forth. So we're gonna hold the first look till probably like Tuesday of next week, but that'll be up for you. Also on the line, Q, not the line, the actual employee of MMO Bomb, Quinlan Bowers, aka Q. What's up?
You know, every time somebody says Q when you're talking about game, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I would imagine. Wait, oh no.
It's not me.
K-Max said, I tried a little Sentry. So far, so good. See if it holds my interest. So I have thoughts about Sentry. It changed since beta, Jason. I don't know if you got in at all yesterday.
No.
Jason and I were
I never played it in beta either. So.
I thought you and I played it on a stream in beta.
Nope.
I wasn't terrible at it. You know, I was slightly above 1 KDR. But yeah, it is. They've changed some controls, and the Marauder is overpowered. We'll get to that next week when the first look video is up, and we've had some more hands-on time with it. Since they were like, we don't want to launch next to Battlefield, so let's launch next to Endwalker. When they died. I mean, of course, they didn't know it was going to be delayed, right?
Right, I was going to say, to be fair, all these things that are launching right now probably did not have Endwalker being delayed for 2 weeks.
True.
In their 2021 bingo card.
Maybe you shouldn't delay things to try to avoid things then. I'm just saying.
We got a box, gang.
Oh, yeah.
We got a box. So this is from Perfect World Entertainment. Came yesterday. I have no idea what it is.
You didn't even take it out of the package?
There's like
black.
It's wrapped in the black shipping plastic, and I was afraid that the box might have like some marking on it.
Okay.
So I left it in there until we got to the show today. So let's go ahead and open this up. Well, my fears of the box being marked seemed to be unfounded. Because the box just
cracked open a tiny bit of it and seeing if it was like plain brown or something. But
the box just says Perfect World. That's it.
Okay. Oh my God, it's a Perfect World box from Perfect World. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Maybe they were afraid that somebody would see Perfect World and steal it out of the mail.
What is this?
Or you'd see Perfect World and reject it.
All right, so we got a little happy holidays from all of us here at Perfect World, and I totally forgot to tweet that we were doing the show. I set up all the other tweets and forgot.
Send them the VOD. Or only if you like what they sent you. If you're like, oh, this is trash, then definitely don't tell them.
What the hell is this? A pure water from a self-cleaning bottle.
Oh.
Self-cleaning water bottle with instant water purification. Drink confidently anywhere. A touch of a button and the 280 nm UVC light neutralizes up to 99.9999% of harmful odor-causing bacteria in adventure mode. Adventure mode.
Adventure mode?
Yeah,
what?
Adventure mode. Self-cleaning and worry-free, intelligently activates every 2 hours, basking the water and inner surface in purifying UV light. Never worry about that stinky bottle. And adventure ready. Set in adventure mode for extra purification power so you can drink confidently no matter the destination. This thing's pretty heavy, actually.
What is it?
It's got a UV light or something inside.
Things lately.
I mean, it's a heavy son of a bee made by Lark, and it's got Perfect World branding on it.
Probably good for like 3 filters, 3 bottles worth.
Wait, should we look up what this thing would cost to buy?
And then I guess this is the UV light.
Oh, okay. It's like right in the bottom there.
Yeah, well, yeah, in the cap.
Oh. Oh, there's something on the bottom too. I saw something.
No, it's just a QR code sticker.
I see self-cleaning insulated larks for about $80-$90.
Oh, there's a charger input
Yeah,
here.
the first
so
one that pops up is for me is $98.
Yeah, so it's you charge this bad boy. You charge your ultraviolet light.
You have to charge your water bottle. We live in such a fantastic world.
Right. I'm home from work, honey. Did you remember to plug in my water bottle? But yeah, so you charge that bad boy up and get your water cleaned with UV light. That's actually a pretty unique gift.
That is nice.
That is nice.
Is that all that's in the box, or is there
That
more?
is all.
Okay.
Have they just realized that like the people that they've been dealing with forever are getting older, so maybe they should like we've reached the age of the useful item gifts? Is that what's going on?
Right.
Soon they'll be sending us socks.
Does it also purify your Red Bull? Because we are gamers, you know.
Right.
Yeah. What happens if you purify Red Bull?
Yeah. I don't know. The universe just collapses on itself. I have no idea. Let's slide over and get started with the news. Yeah, so that was a very nice gift there. Thank you to the team at Perfect World. Happy holidays, as always, to them. Obviously, the big news today, the launch of Final Fantasy XIV's Endwalker after its 2-week delay. It did launch this morning at about 4 in the morning East Coast time, so roughly about 9 hours ago. People have been enjoying. So far, so good. Queues, depending on where you are and when you logged in, may have been longer or shorter. But I got to say, at least for me, my queue initially this morning was not as long as I expected it to be. We'll see if that holds true after the show. There were some issues with 1 or 2 data centers where they were having to investigate some disconnection issues. But all in all, relatively smooth launch. I'm not terribly far in yet. Just getting ready to hit 81, and we're kind of at the base of the Tower of Zot. So there's not going to be any spoilers for any of you waiting to play in this podcast because we don't have any of the spoilers yet. Maybe after the stream, and we will be watching cutscenes and stuff, so I do flag the stream as in the title as watching story content, caution spoilers. But we're here. Q, you've been playing, I've been playing. Give me some of your initial thoughts so far.
Well, let's see. I basically did, just went ahead and I logged in and it was sub 40 was my queue. And at one point I ended up having to log out because I need to go take a shower and came back and I was just immediately kicked out right then. And again, sub 40 was my queue. So I'm having a really good time there so far. But I mean, I immediately just went to the story stuff and I just finally went back to grab the Reaper to do a little bit of that. So but I mean the new zones are so pretty and I'm enjoying having the crew with me, like actual with me. Right? Like,
yeah, they do kind of use the new NPCs follow you thing quite a bit right off the bat.
yeah, well, the great thing about it is though right now is it fixes a little bit when you run to an NPC and everyone is clustered around the NPC, but if they're following you, then the minute you hit the area, they stop, so they're outside where everyone else is at, and you can, like everybody's got their own quest giver NPC basically with them following them, and you just talk to yours, which isn't blocked by literally everyone else. So that's really nice.
It is kind of neat to walking them to other locations and just picking up like their thoughts or their observations about, landmarks or architecture or things like that. So I do like it. I want to see how it's going to be utilized a little further into the quest. I will say though, Jason, this is one of those, trust me, Jason, it gets better because it starts slow. At least for me, and I'm only a few hours in, I thought it started really, really slowly. Like there is there's the typical like main quest recap, right? Hey, if you haven't played since the last patch and you finish the patch and you don't remember what was going on, this first quest kind of recaps where we're at and where we're going to be going and why. But it was just, there was literally like the first hour and a half, it was straight line main story questing where you weren't really doing anything. It was just go to this location, watch a cutscene, or read a bunch of dialogue. And I'm all for the story. I love the story in Final Fantasy XIV, but I kind of wanted to be like, come on, let's go. Let's get into a zone. Let's kill some stuff. Let's find some Aether Currents. Let's go. Let's go. And it does get there. If you pick the right branch, by the way, because there are 2 branches in the main story quest. If you go to Thavnair, you're going to open up the side quests and start exploring a new zone. If you opt to stay in Charlayan, you're going to be doing some more reading for a little while before you get into some extra stuff.
See, I opted for Thavnair because I was just well, I'm not the brains of this outfit, so I'm just going to go with the muscle first. I mean, come on. So, which ended up being really great for me because then I got to laugh at Estinian. So.
Yeah.
Isn't that basically how the previous expansion was too? Weren't there people complaining about how you spend days like doing recap or doing crappy basic story stuff, and that before you got to
it's kind of their MO. It's to be expected anymore that the first half hour to hour and a half, depending on how much they have to recap or set things up, is always going to be this way. We did see this week, and this was kind of weird, Jason. I want to get your take on this. All of a sudden, the version 1.0 trailer, which I'm showing as B-roll here, showed up on the Final Fantasy XIV YouTube page.
I heard about that. What was the reason for that?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're asking. Now, there are a couple lines of thought here. Some people think, conspiracy theories, let's put the tinfoil hats on. They're taking it as far as, are we going to get a classic, a Final Fantasy classic? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Yoshi P disputed that. I remember that when he laughed at it.
He's definitely been like, no, we're not doing that. No. But he's also said, no, we're not doing that to other things, and then done it before. Then there was kind of speculation that maybe this was just like, hey, because Endwalker, the actual 6.0 patch that is available right now, completes the Zodiark Hydaelyn storyline, then maybe this was just a callback to, hey, remember where you came from, that type of thing. Remember where it all started, and that maybe leading up to the 7th, they would be dropping the other, expansion trailers along the way. Now, they did reorganize the playlist that has the other trailers in it. And I didn't even notice this until I was talking to somebody else yesterday, that the version 1 trailer wasn't actually on the channel. So this was its first upload to the actual channel. So maybe it was just let's put them all there. We got all of the others in this playlist. Let's put this here. Maybe it means something. Maybe it doesn't, Jason.
I think it means nothing. I agree with you. It's just hey, let's get it on there, and because we have everything else. And again, a sort of, hey, if this is the end, quote unquote, of this series, then let's see where it all began.
Yeah, and we know that for sure, that this is the end of the Hydaelyn Zodiark storyline.
Throw away your tinfoil hats.
It is not the end of Final Fantasy XIV, nor is it the end of your particular Warrior of Light, at least as far as we know. I mean, I don't think they would kill everybody's characters off.
Again, Final Fantasy 3.0, Realm Reborn.
Realm Reborn, reborn.
Arr.
So... it was nice to see the trailer. Some people had said, "Oh, look, it's Reaper" in one of the stained glass cards from the labs.
I actually phrased that wrong because I was doing other stuff while I was typing. It was that they just said the scythe specifically, and if you go and you pick up the Reaper quest line, it seems to kind of relate. But there's also another good reason to do it. Progressionally wise, they literally have basically just shown off the entire Warrior of Light glow up.
You have actually been saying that so far, even though you're not terribly far or anything, that glamour-wise, you're having a good day. You're having a good day.
Well, again, I think somebody pointed out me and the macabre, so I went and picked up Reaper, and fashion-wise, I'm doing well there. And then the new Dragoon kit that I'm getting is also very within my aesthetic, so I'm having a good day.
Well, yeah, they share, so you're good. You're good. I have not picked up Reaper or Sage or anything yet. I'm just doing MSQ right now as my Black Mage and finding my Thavnair Aether Currents. It's a good day to be a Final Fantasy XIV fan. Jason, I still to this day wish you played. I don't know why you never got into it like hardcore. You know, you've done your Guild Wars 2, you've done your Lotro. It's time to do your Final Fantasy. Although
why did you get into Guild Wars 2 hardcore? Huh?
I didn't like it.
Okay. Well, there we go. All right.
But what didn't you like? What didn't you like? Like, seriously, why wasn't Final Fantasy for you?
The sub fee.
Is that it? Because somebody else said that in chat earlier that they want to play it, but the sub fee is just kind of makes them feel icky.
I can play a million games. I can play a million games for free, so it's like.
They also acknowledge that they don't like free-to-play KMax, that they don't like free-to-play games with microtransactions, so maybe they're just adverse to publishers and devs getting paid.
Just adverse to games in general, apparently.
Yeah, right. That's it, though, the sub fee? You can go play, you can buy the Guild Wars expansion.
A little bit of that, a little bit of having someone to play with, so, you know.
There's a bunch of us in there.
Yeah, and you're all like level 8,000, and I'm level 30. So
look, I literally just restarted, just created yet another character.
Look, I've been in enough MMOs where, all my friends are going to play this. Oh, great, you're all 30 levels ahead of me. Whatever. No.
Yes, Chad.
I don't buy it anymore. I don't buy into your lies.
We have the other classes.
Yes, Chad. Q did just squeak. Q just squeaked in response to Jason. But it's a great day to be a 14 fan. I'm sure we'll talk more about it next week and in the coming weeks, not just here on Always Online, but also on the Relic Grind. The last night's episode went like 2 hours long, so if you're playing some Final Fantasy 14 and you want to give a listen to a podcast, we got 2 hours of Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy trading card game discussion up on Ready Check Radio for you. But taking a step away from Square Enix, it was a big money week. It was a big money week as far as news goes across
weeks. Whatever.
Yeah. We're right. 2 weeks.
It's been a while since we've done a podcast.
Since we had the cast. It's been 2 weeks. We had 1 week off. Jason.
Okay, it's been. I had one extra week off. So
yeah,
it's been a while since
you
I
had
did
like a month off, but we've had 1 week off. So first up, let's go with the old standby, and that's Blizzard. Let's beat up on them a little bit because, you know, what's the saying? Fuck around and find out, right? Now, some states' treasurers are not exactly thrilled with Activision Blizzard, specifically Activision Blizzard's leadership. And why? Well, some states would have funds invested in Activision Blizzard stock, whether it be for state funds or for retirement funds or pensions. They usually have some 401ks, some type of investment deals going on with all that cash. And 6 state treasurers are added to the list of people who don't believe, and this is a quote, don't believe Bobby Kotick can enact meaningful changes to address the culture at Activision Blizzard.
That's actually a quote from me. That part is.
That's the one from you. Where's the one from our friend
from them is the next paragraph.
Illinois? There we go. Yeah. So this is from Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks. He said, "We think there needs to be sweeping changes made in the company. They're concerned that the current CEO and board of directors doesn't have the skill set nor the conviction to institute these sweeping changes needed to transform their culture, to restore trust with employees and shareholders and their partners." I mean, that's as direct to the throat as you can get, I would assume, as being a state treasurer, Jason. It doesn't really get any more bold than that.
And they want them to quote, to make meaningful change over harassment allegations, unequal pay, and other workplace issues. So, yeah, they are basically saying, Bobby Kotick, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
Dakota and the board of directors, you all don't know what the hell you're doing. Get out and find someone who can.
Yeah,
I think they
right
all
after
know
them by
exactly
name.
what they're doing. It's just
we
know.
And
but what they are doing is not what they should be doing. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they were just going to do it as long as they could get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, when you screw with somebody's money, you find out. And Activision is finding out. And this is what we said, Jason, when, no matter whether Sony's, vocal platitudes meant anything, or Nintendo saying anything, or Xbox saying anything, we didn't think that was going to lead to any huge breaks in relationships. But saying things out loud sometimes is enough to cause action. But what we've always said is what really causes action is when the shareholders and the board gets angry because the shareholder prices are going down. That is happening right now to a degree and a longer degree of time that state treasurers and their investments are getting a little worried. This wasn't one state treasurer mouthing off. This was a handful of states so far, and I don't think they're going to be the last financial people to chime in on this topic.
Yeah, because we talked about before how the shareholders represented by whatever, I forget what the company was called. It used to be CTW, but they're something else now. SOC, I think. How they represented like less than 0.5% or whatever the total shares. I was like, yeah, okay, it's nice that they're speaking up and saying bad things, but the 0.5% or whatever, or even half of 0.5% or something. But if these state treasurers, again, who knows how much money they have invested, how many stocks they have invested. Whoever else out there might be a big shareholder also might say things and so forth. So if enough of that starts happening, then maybe it does get enough pressure for real action to be taken.
Activision Blizzard's stock down to $56.80 a share.
It was over 60 last time I looked.
Yep. Yeah, it's 56. Oh, just went down again. 56.79.
Oh, it just went down again.
Oh, it just went down again. Oh, it just went down. 56.76. No, it's $56 and some change.
I think it was around 120, 130 around the start of the year too.
Yeah, it's I don't know what it was at the beginning of the year. If that's a tremendous drop. I mean, I guess I could pull up the chart there, but I'll let you do that while I go to Q. Prior to this, Bobby Kotick did say, "Hey, I'll resign if I can't fix this quickly."
He'll consider resigning.
Yeah.
He's been hanging out with a lot of politicians where the MO is. So we're thinking about maybe considering having a meeting to talk about possibly considering doing something to fix this issue.
Yeah, it is very hedging of the statement. Is very kind of double speak. He would consider leaving the company if the issues weren't fixed with speed. And I think I tweeted something to the effect when this happened, because this was right after Thanksgiving, that this is I said, the fox in the hen house says, "I swear I will leave the hen house if I can't get these chickens to settle down pretty quickly." And see, that sounds stupid, right? It sounds even dumber when a CEO who is part of the problem, Jason, causing the problem, knew about the problem, let the problem fester, says, "Hey, if I can't fix this quickly, maybe I'll leave."
Yeah, it was actually 103 103 in February, and it was 91 just before the whole thing started happening. So
we are almost at a 50%. Almost.
It was right around 80 just before the most recent stuff came out, and then dropped like $12 on that overnight, and has since dropped. And since November 12th, has gone from $70 to 57. So
yeah. So you said it was 103 when?
February.
So 10 months. In 10 months, it's lost almost half of its value.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous amount of money when you're talking about stocks that are $100 a share.
Mm-hmm.
That is a tremendous amount of money. I think the pressure's on. Could it get any worse? Like, this is one of those stories too that I just
it can get worse.
Every time I turn around, I'm like, well, this is the bottom. They've got to figure it out. But everybody knows where the pieces are on the board right now. Oh shit! Somebody just added more pieces to the board. It's like, here comes the SEC. Here comes this. Here comes these state treasurers. You want to say it can't get worse, but every time you think it can't, it does. It does.
You need more faith in humanity's ability to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
I'm actually more worried that it'll get better. Like, I'm worried that the stock price will recover and stuff gets swept under the rug. I want to see it get worse.
Yeah.
I want it worse, and more worse.
Well, see, I think we're at a dangerous point when you start talking about worse financially, though, because in the short run, it's not the execs that suffer.
But that happens if Blizzard is successful.
Oh, I know.
The
Yeah,
thing
I
is,
mean,
is
they have record profits and
employees-
lay off 800. Yeah.
Either way, the employees are suffering. They're either suffering financially, or they're suffering at the hands of people who were, pretty much abusing them in their own offices, where they, should be able to just safely work. So either way, they're going to suffer. But if they're going to suffer, they might as well take the other people down with them.
That's a great mindset.
If I'm gonna suffer, I'm taking you down with me. Other companies that actually have money and are doing something with it. This one might get a little confusing just for a second, but the basic gist of it is that Media and Games Invest, that's the parent company of Gamigo, increased their ownership stake in Enad Global 7, the parent company of Daybreak. So it's you can't say Gamigo bought Daybreak. That's not what happened.
No.
The parent company increased their investment in the parent company. So now they're up to about 8% of the total outstanding shares for Enad Global 7. And that makes them the second biggest stockholder. So there's no majorities or anything like that right now. But it is interesting that Gamigo's owners, who just got rid of Arcade, right? They just threw that at Cacao Games. Supposed to launch
Which
today.
should be live. It was supposed to be at 1 p.m. It's like half an hour ago. They were supposed to go live at the servers.
Yeah, but it was delayed a few hours.
Look,
No, it was delayed to 1 p.m. That was the final
to
date.
1 p.m., yeah.
I'm
So,
becoming increasingly convinced that the only reason Gamigo bought Tryon was to get Glyph.
To get Trove.
Yeah, Trove. Yeah.
Well, Trove, I guess.
Glyph has nothing left on it now.
Yep. It's delayed again. It launches in 30 minutes, hopefully. Thank you, Tazeb, giving us the real... Tazeb, live in the field. I'm just hearing from Tazeb. 30 minutes on the Arcade launch.
Just manning the server waiting for that land rush.
What I think is kind of interesting, though, about this one, Jason, is it's not, like we said, it's not a huge ownership stake. It's not a majority share. It's not even a strong minority share. Yes, you are the second biggest, but you're at 8%, and the biggest is, what, like 10%? So you're pretty close there. But I think it's interesting why they did this. As part of Enad Global's financials, they came out and said, you know what? We think Daybreak is undervalued.
EG7 is undervalued.
EG7 as a whole is undervalued.
Yeah.
And we want to pick up on this right now.
And
if you look at the trend, if that's true, it's been undervalued for a while. For a while.
I mean, a few months, because if you look at because I put the chart right there. Speaking of things that were big in February, you can see that on that. It was like at 120, which I think is like the Swedish krona or whatever. 120, 130, when they were doing all those acquisitions about a year ago.
Yeah.
And it stayed pretty constant, had a little bit of a spike in May, and it's just been tumbling since then, because we talked about that investor call or whatever, where the CEO kind of flubbed up, and so they're getting rid of him. And it's been dropping steadily since then, from 120 down to 27.50. So you talk about Blizzard taking a tumble. Holy crap, or Activision, whatever. This is like 1/5 of what it was, 6-7 months ago.
Yeah, wasn't Daybreak like almost 75% of the Enad Global's like gaming revenue?
Yeah, but they have revenue in other things. But in terms of gaming revenue, it is that much.
Specifically, yeah.
But again, that's due to, I think more like they said, like a little bit of a uncertain messaging coming from, the top. Whereas as we're going to see in a little bit, Daybreak does have some stuff coming down the line, which could be pretty important. So
yeah, I mean, as far as their financials, they reiterated
Mm-hmm.
something we've reported on before. They have a Marvel MMO in the works. On the Gamigo side of things, they've been teasing the hell out of. We talked on this show before of an upcoming MMORPG that they're releasing. They have like 4 videos now and a clue, and yeah, so you can go and check out their website if you want to try and decode what their upcoming announcement of an MMO is as well. So each of these companies has new products on the horizon.
Except Gamigo's upcoming products don't reflect Enad's stock.
No.
So just so we're clear, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't be, because Gamigo's owned by the other company.
Yeah. But I mean, like if I had the money, I would almost consider like not donating, but buying some stock.
I'll donate money to a large company. Sure.
I'm gonna help Daybreak out.
I feel like they are correct. I think that they are a little undervalued, and they're still talking about doing mergers and acquisitions. So I think they could still rebound and do pretty well. Like I could see the logic behind it.
Let us know. It's not the question of the week, but let us know in the comments unofficially. Would you buy into like an MMO company or an upcoming product if you were that type of investor, had that type of capital laying around? I don't know if I would. I don't know.
Just make sure it's not one that's, headed up by a baseball player or something.
God.
I think
this game got an expansion this week.
Do you think Enad Global wants to do something with the EverQuest franchise? Like, I know they've said
they want to.
Everybody
wants to do something.
To, but do you actually think they're going to at some point, Q?
Oh, God, I have no idea on that one. I hadn't even considered it. I I feel like at some point because we obviously have, right, EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, isn't there like a mobile thing or something too? I don't know. But at some point you kind of do need to do a little bit, I guess, something more. Because yeah, you can update games and stuff like that, but at some point the tech and everything kind of outruns what you've got going on without a complete rejiggering. So maybe there is other stuff they'd want to do. And of course there's the entire thing of what games are doing now where
It's
you go and do all this side shit.
it's the next EverQuest next, Jason.
Right.
It's EverQuest Next 2. The next year.
EverQuest Next 2
next year.
the second.
The next year.
A Realm Reborn.
Big money coming in as Mainframe Industries grabs themselves $23 million in funding for its cloud-native MMO. And this money actually comes from a lot of companies you know about. So some more cross-pollination as far as the funds go in CCP, Twitch, King, Riot Games, throw money at Mainframe Industries. Now, we don't know a lot about what they're doing, just besides that it's a cloud-native MMO, which is going to be an interesting project in and of itself. But apparently, there's been enough behind the scenes to get some really big names in this investment group, Jason.
Excuse me, it is, hold on. Their game will be a persistent social world that reflects the best strands of our collective DNA as game developers, forging a fresh take on a story's genre with a game that our players will call home, whether they choose to access our world from their PC, console, or phone.
Yeah, see, I wasn't going to read that because it's a bunch of happy horseshit PR speak. It means nothing.
I wouldn't donate $23 million to it. I know that.
And they already got $8.6 million like back in March.
Yeah.
Through a first round of funding that was the one I mentioned with Riot Games and Play Ventures and stuff like that. So, I mean, they got a ton of money. They got about $30 million to work with, but $30 million, just ask BioWare, can go really, really quickly.
BioWare, no, the new standard is Amazon.
You want to use Amazon?
Yeah.
I was going the SWTOR / Anthem route with BioWare and money just being burned back and forth. Roblox getting sued.
No, Roblox suing.
No, Roblox
or
is
suing. Sorry, suing.
Yeah.
1.6 million Q going after a content creator for terroristic threats and other crimes.
Yeah, I would almost wonder if he's got that much money to sue them for, but he is apparently a popular YouTuber or something. So, and he gets the people his fans basically pay him to do this stuff that he's being accused of doing, like making terrorist threats for the convention that they had recently or whatever it was, and all of that jazz. So, yeah, I'm. I honestly don't know what to say about people like this.
Yeah, this is weird. So we have the whole DMCA thing going on with wargaming, utilizing YouTube's DMCA policies to take down videos of people that they kind of deem, hey, you're a little toxic. And we reported about this on MMO Bomb. You can go read Jason's article. And I don't care how toxic you think somebody is. You don't use DMCA in that capacity. That's not what it's for. So maybe this is the better way, but I don't know, Jason, if you want to be a content creator encouraging, like we are, encouraging a company to go ahead and sue content creators.
Well,
but when you see some of the things that they're being accused of here, this is more than just, hey, he's not a nice guy in his videos.
Yeah, this guy didn't just yell at the company or even tell them they should kill themselves or whatever. He apparently, according to this,
these are all the alleged accusations, right?
Yeah. In addition to things you can't do in Roblox, like uploading pictures of Adolf Hitler or nudes or whatever, he also apparently, according to them, said on a social media accounts that people shouldn't attend the Roblox Developers Conference in San Francisco on a particular day earlier this year, making allusions to the shooting at YouTube headquarters in 2018. He tweeted out a false news report that there was a, quote, notorious Islamic extremist in the area of the conference, and posted a video to YouTube titled, "Someone Blow Up Roblox Now."
So, but here's my thing, though. Like, those are clearly, if true, Those are,
Yeah.
and they know who. Those are clearly terroristic threats. Why are we in a civil litigation instead of a criminal litigation? That's the part I don't get in this one.
Because then Roblox could get money from it, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, that is a really good question. And doesn't Roblox have a lot of money? Like, isn't that kind of the point of Roblox?
But now they could have more.
They don't have all the money.
Yeah.
They don't have
do
all
not
the
have
money.
all the money.
But like, if I go and say something like this, it doesn't matter whether the company I say it against decides to personally, civilly sue me. You would imagine that there would be criminal charges totally independent of that. The police have a problem with me doing that. They're going to take me away. If you want to sue me civilly, right? I mean, you see that all the time. High-profile cases. O.J. Simpson, gets a criminal and a civil suit in that whole thing. Like, I'm curious where the criminal charges are here.
That's a good question, but they did state, as far as Roblox goes, that the whole shutting down of their event cost them $50,000.
Right.
So,
and if that's the case, they absolutely have the right to go
Right.
after that civilly, but where are the handcuffs? This should be more than just maybe we don't have all the details yet, right? I'm sure we will get them as these suits documents become public.
I think we're still. Maybe I'm still thinking like old school, thinking like 2001 or whatever, when someone would make a threat on the internet and cops were just like, "Oh, just someone talking. Just don't worry about it." And I wonder if we're still in that frame of mind with this sort of thing, like Roblox, or like we don't think that they could actually get a conviction on the guy for just posting a video saying blow stuff up. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, if the company and the law enforcement at the time shut down the event, then it shows that they both, not just Roblox, but that law enforcement was treating it as a possible incident, and so they shut the event down to sweep the entire premises. That seems like they considered it to be a credible threat.
Well, did law enforcement shut it down, or did Roblox call the law enforcement and say, "Hey, please get a security sweep" or whatever?
Right.
So I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to watch this one. 1.6 million. Most of that, by the way, is punitive damages. Almost, it's like 98, 99% of it is punitive damages. Yes, they have they can claim in their attorney fees and get the cost back for having things shut down. But that 1.6 million, most of that is punitive, trying to send a message. We'll see. I guess Bungie could use some cash, though. This one kind of confuses me. Q and I both looked at this and we were like, what are they doing? Bungie is having its 30th anniversary. Yay! There's going to be Destiny 2 DLC to celebrate. Yay! You got to buy it.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, and by the way, it's not cross-save.
Yeah, that's even the bigger kicker, because I mean, I guess if you read DLC, you should probably expect to buy it instead of them just saying anniversary event or something.
Right, but I think when you see anniversary event, you don't really associate that with a fee. Like in any real game.
Like in what is it, $25? Was that it or something? Yeah, $25, or purchase it with a bundle that costs $100. Like,
yeah, that's if you want to. It's a whole bundle that gives you the Witch Queen and all that, the upcoming expansion and everything. But yeah, also the fact that it isn't cross save. So I'm actually somebody that plays Destiny on two different platforms, on both PC and on PlayStation. So I do have to buy various things on both. This feels awful. Like this feels. They're just like the decisions. They're locking 2 dungeons behind the digital deluxe version. We talked about that on previous shows. Just like all the financial decisions that for years you blamed on Activision, Jason, clearly weren't Activision.
I also wonder with this DLC, right? Because you purchased it just like you purchase other DLC, and stuff that you've bought gets locked in, stuff gets locked away or whatever at some point. I'm wondering if this will be locked away at some point.
Taco Mancer in the comments on this one saying, as a longtime Destiny player since House of Wolves, this is a sour taste. Back then, the Gallarhorn was the OP weapon of choice. Players will pay for the $99 for the Gallarhorn, and Bungie knows this. Part of me believes that's why they made purchasing the pack the only means of getting this weapon, at least for now, shaking my head. Now, there are free things that you can do as part of the event, like the normal match-made limited time event. You can do that, but everything else, like the weapon and all, it's all locked behind $25 paid DLC, $100 if you do want to buy that and the expansion and the pre-order bonuses all at the same time. They have a bundle that includes this in with the expansion. But yeah, these are not great. Jason, you look perplexed. What are you reading?
I'm just looking at their site and I'm trying to see if they have any sort of like goodies you can get for free to celebrate, but apparently not.
No, it's just the limited time multiplayer game mode thing that they do for most events. And Q, I think you're right. Like when you say DLC, most of the time you think of a $sign. But as soon as you see the words anniversary event, you don't normally associate that. That's just the game celebrating the fact that you're still here playing.
Right. Well,
For now.
It is so it's the company's anniversary technically, right?
Right, it's Bungie's anniversary.
But at the same time, yeah, like if you see the word anniversary, you think, oh, well, they're going to reward the players in some way for hanging out and continuing to keep them a company or keep the game going or, whatever it is that they're celebrating. But you don't expect to see DLC tied in with that. Now, there might be, like, we have had, right? Oh, in conjunction with our anniversary, we're also dropping some new DLC.
Sure.
Right.
But you usually don't see DLC as the event.
Yeah, this is like me celebrating my party, my birthday, and inviting Jason to my party and telling him, you're allowed to come, but before you set foot on my property, I'm going to need $25.
Well, I kind of do have to bring a present, honestly.
You don't have to, though. That's like always an optional thing. That's a societal pressure for you to give me a gift. I'm not saying you have to bring a gift.
Your birthday is free to play, but I have optional microtransactions.
I'm saying before you even set foot in my house and even think about cake, I'm going to need a check for $25. I don't know. Feels bad. Before we slide over and finish up with weekly bombs and question of the week, we do have some fixes for those of you playing some games that might not be having the smoothest of times right now, and a few shakeups, particularly in the world of Battlefield. Mike Burns' birthday DLC. Yes. So Battlefield 2042, I don't know if you've noticed, it's just not going over well. Lead balloonish is exactly what's happening. The reviews are not good across any platform. Well, yesterday, over 150 fixes and quality life improvements were loaded into the game. That GQ just scratching her head. That is a staggering number of bug fixes and quality of life improvements for a patch for a game that literally just came out recently. But it is not going to be enough to avoid shakeups in the Battlefield leadership roles, Jason.
Yeah, so apparently the GM of DICE, the developer of the game, Oscar Gabrielson, is leaving the company, quote, to pursue a new endeavor outside of EA. So he's going to be basically replaced by Vince Zampella, the leader of Respawn Entertainment, who is going to take on a bigger role as the new overall boss of the Battlefield franchise. And they're going to also be doing a lot more storytelling and have a connected Battlefield universe, which sounds...
Like, talk about the dumbest thing you could say right now. Like, as soon as I read this, because I had to read it and was going to tweet it out, right?
You had to read my articles, I know.
Yeah, reading what Jason wrote, doing a little proof, doing a little tweet, and I'm like, wait a minute. They did not say on the cusp of terrible reviews, so many problems with the games, they did not come out and say, we're going to go ahead and make this a Battlefield universe. We're going to launch our own Marvel universe in the Battlefield world, Q. We're taking it to new heights. When everybody's looking, saying, you didn't get this one. You didn't get this one right.
I'm out.
all the memes I'm seeing say the last good Battlefield was like what was the one in 2009? Or whichever one it was. But it's been a while, basically.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
What is this?
Right. Like
Oh,
this is not my game of choice, but all of this just sounds really stupid to me.
Jason, did you add this to the show notes? Is this you?
Yeah, just a little bit I put there at the end. I just saw.
So
this
I'm just
morning.
reading this for the first time. I didn't see this.
Yeah.
But he added a Eurogamer article written by Ishraq Sabhan. Battlefield 2042 fans upset at leaked Santa Claus skin. Update, DICE suggests skin is limited to special event. Now may not be used this year at all. So lead balloon again. I think seems to be. What the hell is this?
Basically, it's I think the best description comes further down. It says where players haven't taken too kindly to the hidden cosmetics, which one fan described as quote Fortnite skins. Because yeah, I guess Battlefield fans want it to be more realistic, more gritty, or whatever, and they're gonna get maybe a Santa Claus skin. So,
Like it really, really, you're roaming through Brown the game in a red suit. No, that's not going to make it really easy for people to hit you.
yeah.
I can hear that dude. He jingles everywhere he goes. Just put your headsets on. You can track Jason. He's really easy to find.
But instead of having like a helicopter or jet he goes around, he's got a sleigh driven by 8 reindeer.
Right.
One of them with a bright red glowing nose that you can see from everywhere.
Well,
See,
that's good. If it's kind of like smoky, if there's been explosions, a lot of smoke and dust and whatever, because they had like the weather in that game, the tornado and everything. You see Rudolph just lets you see right through. He's like a
12
laser
reindeer.
or something.
Chat says 12 reindeer pulling a tank. See, I kind of feel bad for them though. Like the devs were probably like, this will be cute, it'll be fun, you know, it'll be gone in a month, and if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. And like this is the stuff that I'm like, oh, you really shouldn't beat them up over this. Yeah, it doesn't fit the style of the game, but it's also not meant to. Like it's supposed to be a fun little side piece thing.
I do think though that it helps to know your audience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's fair. You're right, Q. You're right. All right, let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. Chat, get yours in now. I know I saw one or two go by. I'll come back to them in just a minute. We're going to start this week with Mr. Jason Winter.
All right, I'm going to give a dub bomb to Halo Infinite because they're at least trying to make their progression better and not suck as bad. They just did a thing last week where they now you get like for your first 6 matches of the day, you'll get bonus XPs like 300, 200, 100, whatever. So you're at least getting that, and they also got rid of some of the worst challenges apparently. I still think they need a lot of work to get rid of like the whole challenge swap notion. That still feels crappy. Although, reminder that you can get a challenge, you can get 5 bonus challenge swaps by ordering from the Chipotle app with the code. Hang on, what is it?
Not a partnership with Chipotle. This breaks games.
With the code Halo117, you'll get 5 free challenge swaps if you order from Chipotle with that.
It seems like this partnership isn't in the game. So.
Yeah, this one might actually work. So I'll give it a try later today. I'm just going to get Chipotle today, so we'll see.
You get Halo and a burrito. It's a good day for Jason Winter.
I know.
It's a good
However,
day.
I'm going to give a bit of an A-bomb because I looked through like a whole battle pass, looked through the rewards, and I know we just talked about the Santa skin in Fortnite or in Battlefield and how that wasn't working. But I mean, I just looked through all the rewards. I'm like, it's another shade of Spartan armor. It's like, or you get a little armband or something. It's like, I don't know. I don't want flaming shoulder pads. I get it. I get why that wouldn't fit in the universe, but I just feel like I need something more to shell out for the battle pass. I don't know.
I bought this first one just as I support
because
the
you
way
buy everything.
You're doing the battle pass, not the experience wise. That was just awful, but the way they're letting you stack battle passes, I was like, I'm gonna throw you $10 because I don't know if I'm gonna buy the game. I'm obviously gonna play it on Xbox Game Pass.
Yep.
But I don't know if I'll ever end up buying it. So they can have my $10 in support for the way they're doing their battle pass. What do you got, Q?
Well, obviously, a bomb to the XIV launch. I do have an A-bomb for the freaking Square Enix store stuff, though.
Oh, Square Enix store is so bad.
Yeah, and them going, okay, well, now you have to log it. Dude, I can't remember my login information, and you won't send me an email so I can get back in.
It's not letting you log in with your Final Fantasy 14 account. That is an option, but I don't know if you ever linked stuff.
I think I might have linked it, but maybe I should try that. But it's just it sends the email to my other So
trying to log
gotcha.
in with Final Fantasy accounts. I remember that pain of
It's an option. Yeah. You don't have to, but you can.
I still remember our friend Bobby Lashley, Robert Lashley. Actually got to talk to Yoshi P and asked him about that. And Yoshi P was like, "I can't do anything. The lawyers make it so that we have to do this convoluted crap to log in." So.
Yep. I'm gonna give a dub bomb to Cold Iron Studios, man. They just keep plucking away. God bless them, right? You have no idea who I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I know.
I know you know. I know you know. That's the team behind Aliens Fire Team Elite.
You want that game to succeed so bad.
I did. I wanted that game to succeed so bad. And then when I played it and did the first look, I was like, there's just not enough here. They should have waited. And we're now getting ready to hit the second season, and there's stuff added and a new mode added and stuff. And so I can appreciate them. They're just plucky as hell. Dub bomb. Go get them. But I can't play it anymore.
I did the comparison this week. I showed you on Steam charts. They're on par with Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
We like your pluck, but we don't like your game.
Yeah. And I'm also like, I don't know which that's worse for. Like, that's pretty good for Aliens Fire Team to be up there with that type of IP. But damn, that IP is doing really low. Nasagra from the viewers, A-bomb to the cast for opening a loot box on stream. Do you not have morals?
Nope. We don't. Move on. Next question.
Actually, we don't.
Terra Nova, A-bomb to Take-Two sending a trademark claim to Hazelight Games because of their game It Takes Two has Take-Two in the title, forcing Hazelight to abandon any ownership of the game's name. If the GTA Trilogy remake wasn't bad enough, they do this. What utter scumbags. That is, that is scummy.
That's appalling.
That is scummy. Ninja Panda's dub bomb for Halo's campaign coming out next week, and for the PSO2 massive update on the 13th and 14th. Yeah, you got Halo Infinite, the campaign coming out, and then you've got PSO2's Redem area coming out with level cap increase, new skills. So yeah, it's definitely a good couple of weeks to be a gamer. Mad Martha, dub bomb, my favorite online game, getting a massive update at the start of December. Always love the work Digital Extremes does. Yeah, you got the new war coming in Warframe. Path of Exile just posted like 2 months worth of events that they're going to keep you busy through December and January. Definitely an awesome time. Finishing it up to call 2399. Mike, Sony and Microsoft are never going to end their relationship with Activision. Yeah, I agree. They're not going to. Their games are way too big and popular. Even, he said that? Who said what? I messed Tozebs?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, they
did.
didn't.
Because it's
Oh,
not
you know, it wasn't highlighted.
Well, Tozeb was a news chatter. So
Yeah,
that
Tozeb's a new chatter, so I
that's
think
a new
there should be
chatter.
a-
All right.
Okay.
Dub bomb to the people who made the WildStar private server. Didn't expect to see one so soon. By the way, do you still have your boxes, Mike? So, no worries. Yes, I am very eagerly watching, and we don't really cover private server stuff on MMO Bomb. I know some other sites do, but we just kind of, if it's something big and they're getting sued, we'll cover that news-wise, but we generally, we're not following the City of Heroes stuff with news posts and things like that, but I have been watching this one. All good, Tazza. I do not have my boxes anymore. I have 2. I threw the rest away, finally. I have 2 WildStar boxes. So to call
the City of Heroes box thing. Speaking of which,
Sony and Microsoft are never going to end their relationship with Activision. Their games are way too big and popular. Even with Call of Duty being down, it's still too big to get rid of. Look, Activision could say, we don't give a shit about how things are going around here, and we're not going to do shit about it. And Microsoft and Sony would still happily let their games on those consoles. Let's be real here. So I don't disagree with your premise, which is they're not going to sever relationships. I don't expect them to. I did think it was unique that they came out publicly to their employees and said, we're kind of evaluating things. I think that's a big step. I don't think they'll sever relationships. The only thing I would say that I disagree with you on is I don't care how big the game is. I do think there's a line at some point, Jason, where it just is not in your financial or perceptional best interest to be aligned with a partner anymore, no matter what the dollars look like.
Like we talked about that earlier. Oh, it can't get worse. Well, if it can, and if it does, then yeah, I agree. I think something could happen. We're not at that point yet, but who knows what else we're going to find out.
Oh, don't say that. Question of the week last week. Lock them in. What's your predictions for New World? Is it going to thrive? Is it going to die? Is it already dead? Is it going to go free to play? Why? Guessly chimes in, says, seems most people forgot that they said there won't be boosters, etc. in the store at launch. Well, and that's you got to be specific there, because yes, they said at launch, because they were in a beta. They pissed people off. We've talked about it on this show. They took them out, but they didn't say they're never coming back. They just said they won't be there at launch. Now they slowly ninja nerf a lot of stuff, which they have. Opens free-to-play to more people, changes the store to free-to-play version with boosters and mounts, etc., and tries to survive. That's what comes to mind at first. But as most people say, I want New World to be successful. There is a really good foundation. I already see that New World could be a game that I return to from time to time when I have some weeks of fun. But sadly, if Amazon Games continues in this direction, the game will destroy itself. By the way, do they know the purpose of test servers? Seems that they say what players want to hear and then behind the scenes continued to do stupid stuff. So I was actually really happy when they launched a test server, but that update, the Void Gauntlet update, was on there for like 2 days and then launched 2 days later. So it just seemed like total lip service, and literally just if you search New World on our site, Jason, it's just bad news after bad news after bad news. You're going to write up another one today.
Yep.
And and so many of the wounds just seem self-inflicted.
And it's like they're putting their holiday event on a test server. That's weird.
That is weird.
I think they should test anything and everything at this point, though.
Well,
I
could see that.
But I almost don't blame them.
Except if they're only putting something on the test server for 2 days, they're not actually testing it.
Yeah.
So
well, they're making sure it doesn't completely break, I guess.
Well, no, are they really now? I mean,
you know how it is. If an MMO is completely broken,
right.
You'll know within 2 days of launch if it's completely broken.
Everything that Mike sends me to write is something else broken. Like, I've yet to write, oh, hey.
Hey, I didn't send you New World today. I gave you a day off of New World. I sent that to Jason today. Go ahead, Jason. Take the next one.
Misfit Reigns, question of the week. I see one of my favorite things coming to New World, Battle Pass. Although they need to let us dye cosmetics first. I'm sure there'll be a sale in the future, and I don't think it will close down. If they keep adding things, weapons, in-game content, quality of life stuff, I think it will be fine. Really need an equipment manager, and why can't I learn all armor and weapon cosmetics to apply to my gear once I have equipped it? I'm running a lower version of armor that I just want because I like my cosmetic setup I have showing.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like there's... I don't know. It just feels to me
They're
like...
They're just torn in too many directions.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want to focus on.
There just isn't a focus.
Yeah.
And there's so many just like modern MMO quality of life things in systems that just aren't in New World at all. Not like, it's kind of a bad version of this. There's just not there at all.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Q.
Razia 101. Question of the week. I think New World will launch an expansion by Q3 2022, go free to play by Q2 2023, with a new Guild Wars 2-like business model and a new expansion for Q3 2023, and then slowly fizzle out for about another year, going into maintenance mode for 2 to 3 years, and then fade into obscurity. Well, that is a detailed timeline.
That is so detailed. I'm going to save that.
I was just going to say, you guys can't see the show notes, but Jason, did you just copy paste that somewhere?
Yes,
because
I did.
I saw it light up.
Yes, I did.
So, Raze, free to play by Q2 2023. I think, yes, I think so. I actually think it'll be much earlier than that, but an expansion by Q3 of next year, I think you're out of your damn mind.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I guess it depends on what you consider an expansion.
Oh, well, that's true too.
A thing you have to pay for, a big chunk of content. Yeah.
Yeah. That's 9 months away. That's 9 months away.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
The rest of it I could totally believe, though. including the
Yeah.
fizzle out in 2 to 3 years.
Yep. Excuse me. Question of the week this week. Probably can't answer it today. That's fine. But what's your initial impression of Endwalker? We want to talk next week about our initial 1 week impressions. Some of us will probably be done with main story by that point and stuff. We will keep it story spoiler free. So please, in your answer, do not give story spoilers or I will not be able to use them on the show. What's your initial impression of Final Fantasy XIV's Endwalker? Let us know your opinions in the comments below. If you're not playing, why not? What about Final Fantasy XIV doesn't draw you in? Why are you on Jason's side of the fence? Is it just the sub, or do you have other reasons? So let us know in the comments below. While you're there, don't forget your weekly bombs. Dub bomb for something good, A bomb for something bad in the world of gaming. There were very few bombs on YouTube. Great job on the question of the week. Not so much on the bombs. All call. Get your butt in there. Click like, click subscribe. Make sure you tell everybody about the show if you like what we do here. It's the easiest way to support us. We'll be back next week with another show. Until then, Q, where can everybody find you?
Hanging out on Twitter at Quinlan.
Jason.
On Twitter at Winter Informal, streaming at twitch.tv/JasonWinter.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at magicman1, but more importantly, follow at MMOBomb so we can tweet at you with all the latest news, articles, giveaways, first look videos, and so much more. It's been fun hanging out. Until next time, gang, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers. Later.